Cleetus McFarland recently stepped into the ARCA race at Talladega, and it didn't just turn heads among racing fans. It caught NASCAR's attention too. He isn't just another driver. He's a social media powerhouse with over 4 million followers, a level of reach most NASCAR drivers can only dream of. That alone says a lot. So, to understand why his appearance mattered so much, you have to rewind the clock and look at how his YouTube journey began. Everything changed back in July of 2015 when a friend jokingly called him Cleetus in a spoof video. What started as a throwaway joke ended up redefining his entire identity. Garrett didn't rush to turn it into a brand, but the internet made the decision for him. The nickname stuck, and before long, more people knew him as Cleetus than by his real name. Eventually, he embraced it fully, renaming his channel Cleetus McFarland, a move that marked the beginning of something much bigger than he ever expected. Before YouTube became his full-time focus, Garrett was learning the ropes behind the scenes. He worked with the well-known automotive channel 1320 Video, owned by Kyle Loftus. Garrett filmed a street racing clip and showed it to Kyle, who saw its potential and featured it on the channel. That moment gave Garrett his first real exposure to the automotive content world. Instead of exploiting Garrett's growing popularity, Kyle supported him, mentored him, and helped him grow. That guidance played a huge role in shaping not just Garrett's career, but the way he approached success. As Garrett himself puts it, Kyle Loftus is the person he credits with everything. He's talked about filming a street race and showing it to Kyle simply because Kyle was the only guy in town with a YouTube channel. Kyle used the footage, gave him a chance, and later even encouraged Garrett to help manage social media while he was still in high school. Garrett worked for years without pay, learning the platform, the audience, and the craft. He stayed behind the camera, absorbing everything. And when the Cleetus name eventually went viral, Kyle could have tried to capitalize on it. Instead, he did the opposite. He encouraged Garrett to branch out, build his own brand, and create something that was truly his, a decision that made everything that followed possible. Yeah, even though the world of YouTube can be brutally competitive, Garrett doesn't see it that way. He doesn't look at other creators as enemies or rivals. If someone likes automotive content, they usually watch several creators, not just one. I don't think it's so much competition like I have to win over the viewers versus them watching my buddy's videos, because that's never seemed to be the case. It's almost like they'll just watch both. I don't know. I've never felt that competition, but I've always driven myself to be like, I want to be the one with the best content there is when it comes to drag racing and stuff. So maybe that's just automatically worked out that way for us, but I don't feel like my neighbor can pull views off of my channel, if that makes sense. Yeah. Now recently, the real surprise came when Cleetus had an in-car camera during the ARCA race. And that one move led to between 20,000 and 30,000 new YouTube subscribers for NASCAR's official channel in just 24 hours. That kind of growth on YouTube doesn't happen often, especially for a traditional sport like NASCAR. According to data from Social Blade, that spike was directly linked to the Cleetus broadcast. This shows that younger audiences are ready to follow motorsports, but they want personalities they can relate to, and Cleetus fits that role perfectly. Even NASCAR commentator Mike Joy admitted recently that the sport has a problem. We have 18 and 20-year-olds coming into the Cup Series and making a mark. The fan base is getting older. We're not attracting the younger fan base that we need to move this sport forward into the next decade, into the next couple of decades. And we lost a lot of that young fan base that we really need to covet if we're going to grow this sport again. That means NASCAR's main audience is aging, and if they don't attract younger fans, their viewership will slowly shrink. That's where someone like Cleetus McFarland becomes incredibly valuable. He's already doing what NASCAR hopes to do: entertain and bring in younger fans who are active on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. When Cleetus made his debut at Daytona, the results were impressive, even if he didn't finish the race. On race day, Fox Sports post-race coverage featuring Cleetus pulled in over 5.8 million views. To put that into perspective, many ARCA races struggle to get even 500,000 viewers. His presence created what reporters are calling the Cleetus McFarland effect. His fans weren't just casual viewers. They were excited, active, and loud. Social media exploded with clips of him racing, reacting, and even crashing. On race day, things didn't quite go as planned. Rain canceled qualifying, so the starting positions were based on practice times. Cleetus started in 23rd position. His main goal was to finish the race, which is not easy at Daytona. The track is known for its high-speed wrecks, and this race was no exception. On lap 12, a crash started when Amber Balcaen lost control coming out of turn 4. Cleetus got caught in the wreck, hitting the inside wall. He kept going, but his car was damaged. Just a few laps later, Balcaen spun again, this time directly in front of Cleetus. He He had no time to react and slammed into her car. His vehicle was too damaged to continue, and he finished in 30th place. Even though he did not complete the race, fans and commentators called his debut a success, and his post-race interview went viral. He called it the best day of his life and described racing around Daytona as ripping like a bald eagle. The way he talked, full of excitement and humor, was different from the usual polished responses people hear from most drivers. And that difference mattered. For years, NASCAR has struggled to attract younger audiences. Viewership numbers have dropped, and many fans say the sport feels too corporate and the drivers too robotic. Cleetus McFarland brought something fresh. He was loud, honest, and full of personality, and fans loved it. Thousands of people who had never watched a stock car race before tuned in just because Cleetus was behind the wheel. That's something NASCAR hasn't been able to do with millions of dollars in marketing. One of the biggest moments came after the race when Dale Earnhardt Jr. invited Cleetus on his podcast, The Dale Jr. Download. Dale Jr. is one of the most respected voices in racing. When someone like him takes notice, people pay attention. He also pulled off an impressive top 1-0 finish in the ARCA Menards Series race at Talladega, starting 24th in the number 30 Rhett Jones Racing Ford. He quickly moved up before a valve spring failure slowed his pace. Despite the engine trouble, he fought to stay on the lead lap. Things got tense late in the race when he nearly dodged a multi-car crash, joking later that his cutoff sleeves gave him the edge. McFarland restarted 14th for a one-lap overtime dash, but another wreck struck before turn 1. He avoided the chaos again and crossed the line in 10th place under caution. Nearly 70,000 fans watched live through his in-car camera. He explained that after losing the draft, the engine turned into a dog, but he used advice from NASCAR veteran Greg Biffle to stay in the game. McFarland's first ARCA race at Daytona ended in a DNF, so this Talladega recovery showed real progress. Now, he has hinted he might return for the fall race. As always, don't hesitate to comment your thoughts down below, and while you're down there, make sure to smash that subscribe button.